Namaste, everyone. My name is Kiran, and I'm a rising junior. I'm majoring in international affairs. I'm a pre-law student at the University of South Florida, and I currently serve as the president of the HSC chapter at USF.
Hi, everyone. My name is Divya Kaushal. I'm a rising junior at USF, majoring in public health, minoring in chemistry on the pre-med track. I'm currently the vice president of the HSC chapter at USF.
So today we're here to talk about Hindu Dharma through the arts. We're going to refer to it as HDA throughout the rest of this live stream. So Divya, Shohi, Arnav, the rest of the HSC leadership team, we came together to create a fundraiser as an art showcase that can unite members of the Hindu community, regardless of age, regardless of location, through a common theme. So the main goal of this project is to showcase the talents of individuals within the Hindu community, and I want to learn how their Hindu identity has shaped their artwork. And they're also contributing to the COVID-19 relief effort, and all the funds are donated to the Sewa International USA COVID-19 Relief Fund.
So a little bit about the competition is that this year's theme is all about storytelling. The applicants can range from, we're going to be accepting applicants from any age, and they can apply in a variety of different art categories. Those art categories are dance, music, visual arts, photography, film, drama, writing, or cooking. Through this showcase, your artwork will display how you grappled with and embraced your identity as a Hindu, or a story of Hindu texts, oral traditions, itihasas, panchantras, and etc. Participants may submit in as many categories as they would like, with a maximum of 2 entries per category. And the deadline for the submission will be July 31st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So considering the deadline is approaching very soon, we wanted to inform everyone about this competition and the philanthropy it's connected to. So money raised from HDA will be donated to the Sewa International USA's COVID-19 Fund, which is used to support individuals and families in the United States. So Sewa International has been running the COVID-19 relief effort, and they started since late February, and they've distributed more than 625,000 masks, hot meals, food kits, and they've donated a lot of money to food pantries as well. So I know this question has been on your mind. I've received a lot of them today about judging criteria, and I do want to explain very briefly what the judges will be looking for. They'll be judging off of originality, creativity, the ability to convey meaning, also authenticity of your story, and also execution. So this is kind of subjective. Execution really varies by category, but really what the judges are looking for is the work authentic and done well, and was their effort put into it?
Now, since we talked about the judging criteria, we're going to move on to who are the judges. We've been periodically posting them on our Instagram page, but we also wanted to introduce them to you right now. So we're going to be having 6 different categories, and we're going to start off with our first category. We have 2 judges. The first will be Indu Mangalore. She's an icon of Indian performing arts in Dallas, Fort Worth Metroplex. Then we have Shoni Shirkar. She began dancing and training in Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi at the age of 5. In addition to her classical dance background, Shoni enjoys performing and choreographing Bollywood and folk regional items for universities, festivals, and showcases. Then we have the music category, which will be held by be judged by Eclipse Nirvana. They are composers and a vocalist duo who specializes in electronic bhakti music. They are pioneers in blending raga influences with electronic and pop genres to create powerful spiritual experiences. Next, we have the visual arts category that will be judged by Ritu Kumar, founder of Ritu Arts. She is with over 500 paintings under her belt. Rituji is a seasoned professional artist. She likes to experiment with her art, mixes different styles like abstract, modern, contemporary, and Indian, ethnic, and Hindu-inspired, and mediums like watercolor, acrylic, oil, resins on canvas, glass, and wood to create new and unique styles. Next, we have the photography, film, and drama category that will be judged by Uday Kaluri. He is a software engineer by profession and an actor by passion, currently based in Toronto. He established a film production company in 2016 under the name Uday Productions. He's now a filmmaker, choreographer, model, lyricist, and story writer.
The category of writing, which includes poetry, stories, or short essays. This category will be judged by Neha Srivastava, who is the president and the founder of the Shaktipla Foundation. She completed her master's from Columbia University, and she's currently a student of public policy at Johns Hopkins University. And our last category is vegetarian cooking, which could be either a recipe written out or maybe a recording of a cooking show. This category will be judged by Shobha Swami, who is certified in plant-based nutrition from the T. Colin Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies. She actively promotes switching to minimally processed, nutritionally dense, and plant-based diets through Food for Life classes. Since we introduced our judges, I do want to move on to a question-answer session. Throughout the day and throughout the week, we've been collecting questions from followers on social media and anyone who has been interested in entering this arts competition. So with the most basic information we have, how long is the competition? So for HCA, submissions will be accepted from July 1st to July 31st, 2020 at 11:59 p.m. No time later than that. Second question, do I have to be a member of HSC to participate? Absolutely not. Anyone, anywhere in the world, no matter where you live or how old you are, can participate. Are group submissions allowed? So this one is a little complicated considering the circumstances of right now, but our suggestion is that you follow the safety guidelines provided by the CDC, and if you're submitting a group project, make sure to abide by the social distancing guidelines. But yes, group submissions are allowed. What if I want to make a donation but not a submission of artwork? This is perfectly fine. Donations without artwork will also be accepted. As we mentioned before, all the funds will be donated to our philanthropy, and a small portion will be given to prize money. The next question is this just visual arts or all arts? So once again, we'll go over the categories. Our first is dance, and any form of dance is allowed. We have music, which is singing, instrumental music, beatboxing. If you're a DJ and want to remix a song, awesome. The third category is visual arts. That is not limited to, but includes cartoons, drawings, paintings, sculpting. For category 4, we have photography, short film, drama. The fifth category is writing, which is poetry, stories, essays. And the sixth is recipes or cooking shows. And where do we submit the entries? So when it comes to submissions, Divya, if you want to reiterate the two forms we have and the deadlines and the prices for entry.
So first we have a entrance a Google form. It's just saying that you're going to be submitting you're going to be entering into the competition. And then the second form will be your submission form, and that's when you'll be paying the fee as well as submitting your artwork or anything that you would like to be judged. And this will the deadline for all of this will be on July 31st at 11:59 p.m. at Eastern Standard Time.
We also had a question just come in right this second. Do we have an answer to question about speeches? So speeches, what category would you say that comes under, Divya?
I would say probably writing.
Okay, but what about oratory?
Oratory, probably more visual arts.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for clarifying. And how old you have to be to participate? Once again, all ages.
Yeah.
And the last question we got recently is, what are the requirements for music? So I wouldn't say there are any specific requirements for what type of music, but if you are asking about how you can submit it, we suggest either a recording or an MP3 audio file, which you can submit in the Google form. If you have any more questions, feel free to send them below. And I do want to go over briefly, there are some guidelines and some rules. So we have a theme. And every year for HDA, we're going to choose a theme, but this is storytelling. So the theme is the most important rule. You have to stick to either a story from Hindu text and literature or a story of how you have grappled with or embraced your identity as a Hindu. So that's pretty broad. If your art does not stick to the theme, it will not be considered for any prizes, but definitely still will be considered. You can use any language that you want, providing an English translation, and your artwork must be original. You can reference to other sources, of course, especially if you're going off of Hindu text and literature, but all your references must be properly sourced. And I do want to add, if you have any questions, you can message us over direct message on Instagram, on Facebook, with any of these questions as well when it comes to your submission.
Or in the chat box on the HSC page.
And time frame. Your artwork must have been created after July 1st, 2020. And as for safety, this was the most important part. Make sure that you're following the social distancing guidelines. So that should be it for the rules. Not too many. And as for extra questions.
Harsh, are there any questions for us in the audience?
Sure. So there is a question from Arushi, one of our high school dancers and members of HSC. Is there a time limit for the dances? And if not, what is an ideal length?
Okay. Hi, Arushi.
Hi.
I wouldn't say there's a time limit for the dance. You can submit any length of a video that you would like. We can't wait to see your submission.
Great. Another question from the audience. Can poems be based on any topic?
Poems based on any topic. Once again, there is a theme. You have the options of basing it off of Hindu text and literature or your Hindu identity.
So a few more questions as we wait. Again, if anyone has any questions, please message us or add the questions on this live stream in the comment section. So some of the questions for essays, are there any restrictions for the number of words for stories or essays or whatever is being written?
I would say your essay has to be max 1,000 words. We're leaving this pretty much open to whoever wants to submit anything they want, but we didn't really come up with a certain restriction for that.
Right. At the end of the day, it's storytelling. So we want to hear your stories, but there's no restriction on the word count. Right. Exactly. Okay. Another question from Danish, another member. If someone does a group dance, how would they dance keeping social distancing in mind?
I would say just by abiding. Sorry, go ahead.
If you're doing a group project, you can film your dance separately You can try to, okay, I'm reading the question again. If someone does a group dance, how would they dance keeping social distancing in mind? Well, the participants don't really have to be at the same location. That's my answer.
Another thing would be with one of the CDC guidelines is, make sure you're wearing a mask. If you do decide to do a group dance in the same area, make sure you're 6 feet apart and, take as many precautions as you can.
Another question. So I know that you had mentioned this earlier, but just again to clarify the specific question that's here, can essays or spoken word or whatever, can it be written or done in local languages like Telugu?
Yes, they can. We're accepting all sorts of things like that.
Okay, great.
Glad we can answer your question.
Okay, awesome. Does anyone else have any, or did you have any other? Okay, another question just came in. Is there a particular digital file format that you'd like for visual art exhibitions?
I'm not exactly sure about that because our Google form accepts all types of digital files. So there's not really a restriction or preference for that.
If there is a problem when you do try to submit it through the Google form, please reach out to us and we can kind of help you with that if there is a problem that comes up.
Right. And if a problem shows up after submission, we'll reach out to you to make sure that your submissions have been, accounted for properly. So. Yeah. Okay. Another question that came up, for stories and essays, is oral recitation required through videos?
No, it's not required.
You can if you would like, but it's not required.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for your questions. We're still here for any other questions that people might have.
Feel free to reach out through Facebook or Instagram. We're accepting questions on both.
And again, just about the competition, it's meant to be, it's meant for you all to have fun with it. It's not meant for anything of, something so serious. It's if you feel comfortable with sharing your stories and, relating it with, a Hindu text, then we would just love to see it in a submission.
So there was another question that came up earlier. Essentially, what are the rules for the cooking element of this, as to how is that being judged, or what is the process for the cooking category?
All that we're expecting is it's either a written recipe or a cooking show. You can cook anything that you would want as long as it's vegetarian. And that's pretty much it. Excellent question, though.
Try to relate it to an existing Hindu story or your own, story regarding Hindu Dharma and how it may connect with you as a person.
Divya, maybe you want to provide an example of something you thought of submitting. I know you wanted to enter under cooking as well, so if you want to tell everyone about that.
I know you also had one too, but one idea that I had was that my first memory of that when I realized that I was Hindu was when my grandmother was making besan ka laddus for a puja. And I was 4 and I was so confused of why she was putting so much sugar into this pot. And she kind of sat down with me and she kind of, gave me a laddu and, kind of explained it to me that, this is who we follow and, this is what we practice. And so what I was thinking of doing was just conveying that in Hindi while I was making besan ka laddus. So I'd be video recording, over the pot for 45 minutes of myself making laddus. What was your idea for your submission?
Well, I was thinking about entering under the category of visual arts or photography. I'm not really sure which one yet. It kind of falls into both, but growing up, I was trained in Bharatanatyam, and every time I would have a dance recital, my mom would adorn my hair with flowers, and she would give me tika on my forehead. I would have to get mehndi done on my hands, and I never really understood the significance of why I had all these aspects of makeup and costume jewelry until I did the research and found the reasons why. So for my submission, I'll be taking photos of myself wearing my dance costume and all the makeup that I used to wear. And then for each aspect of the costume, I'll be explaining the significance in Hinduism and also how dance really shaped my life as a Hindu.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I look forward to that one.
Are there any more questions? Okay. We will be collecting more questions throughout the week. Don't be afraid to reach out to us, but for now, we will be closing this off. I just want to thank Harsh and Arnav and Divya for joining me on this, and we can't wait to see your submissions.
Thank you, everyone, and namaste. We will be seeing you guys through your submissions and your artwork.
Namaste.
Bye. Namaste.